Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it's so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
Yes, here I am. Good morning, everybody. Welcome into a Hump Day edition of the JP Peterson Show. Hump Day. Hey, we got a Rays win to talk about. Man, this offense last night. Woo! Man, that was worth the mission. No doubt about that.
Rocking the baseball world. Look out, AL.
W is a W. W is a W, baby. Yeah. So we're going to talk some Rays this morning. Man, I got so many of these Orlando people up my ass. It's getting annoying. It's getting really, you Orlando people have tried to be nice for most of the tenure of the back and forth, but now you're getting on my nerves. Good morning to you, Tim Ham, IndyCar Tim, on IndyCar weekend. We getting an IndyCar 500, Indianapolis 500 preview this week.
You know what? I thought I would do that on Friday. We had some commenters yesterday, some of the faithful Yuck Monkeys commenting, asking me about my picks and stuff like that.
Yuck Monkeys. I like that.
I thought I would do that on Friday, maybe.
Okay.
If we don't have a guest, maybe do that 10:30 or sorry, 11:30 Eastern.
I thought we were going to the Indy 500 this year. What the hell happened with that?
It's just, money.
And then there's that. Then there's that. Hotel rooms are only $1,500 a night for the Motel 6 in Indianapolis this weekend. Because you got Pacers, Knicks, and you got Indy 500. So it's going to be a big weekend in Indianapolis. So
and it is an experience, though, boys and girls.
Yeah, I bet I've covered the Daytona 500 many, many times. Yeah. And that's obviously that's a must-do bucket list item. But I've got to get to the 500. I've got to get to the 500. Let's go ahead and set the goals for next year. Augusta in April. We're doing the show from Augusta in April.
Yep.
At the Hooters across the street.
There you go.
And we'll hopefully get our credentials as well. And then we're going to go to the Indy 500 too. That is and Super Bowl.
That'd be a great year.
Yeah. Where's Super Bowl this year?
You're visit Vegas again?
Is it Vegas? What's Super Bowl this year?
Super Bowl 50, right? I mean 60.
Yeah, this year. Coming up because the Bucs are going.
Well, yeah.
Be there. Yeah. Where is it? Is it Vegas?
Santa Clara.
Oh God.
Screw that. Maybe we're not going.
Check that. Check that.
Yeah.
Where's the national championship game? Let's switch sports.
Gross. Nobody wants to go to Santa Clara.
Oh God, no. We go see the feces on the streets of San Francisco. Yes.
Gross. An hour and a half north.
No, thank you. So I want to get into some crazy topics today. We have our race baiters out in the have you seen what's going on with RG3 and Ryan Clark?
Yes.
Holy moly. Like what the hell is that all about?
That's surprising at all, though.
How have we gone from a hard foul to attacking each other's wives and family now? How the hell did we get there? I'll tell you how. It's all about the color of the skin. That's what it's all about. So I have some thoughts on that today. I have to get to that. And we got the Bucs assistant coaches, the offensive assistant coaches talked yesterday. We got some nuggets. We have nuggets. So Alex is downloading the videos right now. So we will share them with you as we go through the day and talk a little Bucs football, because a day will not go by this summer where we do not talk about Bucs football. I can assure you of that. A day will not go by. So get ready, because we're going to count it down. We got to get Paul Stewart on the show. He's doing a countdown for the 50th anniversary of all the players, the top 50 players. So we got to get to that as well. So we're going to be talking a lot of Bucs football. We're what I think is one of the most anticipated seasons in quite some time. I guess, you know what? I guess they all are, really. But this one, I'm really jacked up for this one. There's just everything, again, is set up for success for this Buccaneers team. I really think of, every year I think there's 8, maybe out the outside 10 teams that can win the Super Bowl, depending on injuries, schedule, just breaks going your way. I think there's probably 8 teams, and I think the Bucs are definitely one of those 8.
Go Cowboys! No, just kidding.
Yeah, they're not.
They're not one.
They're not. They're not. Not even close.
Look, I did a piece. We won't want to get into too much Bucs right now. I did a piece over for Bucs Country on Athlon Sports yesterday about the offensive continuity of this team and how it's benefited the offense and benefited one Baker Mayfield most of all, because if you don't realize, he is entering this year with his 9th offensive coordinator since he turned pro in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And his third in a row, right? Third year in a row.
That's insane.
And the fact that he's been able to remain as consistent post 2 back-to-back career seasons says a lot about this club.
Well, if you go back and look at Baker's career, when he's surrounded by a good team and a good offensive mind, and I go back to college as well, he's been pretty successful. He's been pretty good. And when not. Seriously, look at it. Oklahoma. Yeah. That was really good. He had good players around him, good offensive mind, Heisman Trophy.
And don't forget how he got there. He walked on at Texas Tech and made the team. Unfortunately, he had some dude named Patrick Mahomes playing in front of him.
Yeah, that could be a problem.
So then he's already on the team, but he decides, you know what, I want to freaking start. Screw this backup BS.
So let me go to a smaller school where I'll definitely start. Nope.
And he had to walk on at Oklahoma, too.
I'm going to go to Oklahoma where I'm 9th on the depth chart. I mean, that's cojones.
And win the job.
That's confidence. That's confidence. And win the job and win a Heisman Trophy. Then you're the number 1 overall pick. You go to a crappy organization, and they find a way to actually put some players around you one year, and you take them to the playoffs and get a playoff win. You get a playoff win for Cleveland. And they're so smart, they're like, he's not good enough. Because he has an injury-riddled season the next year, and we're going to get off Baker Mayfield. Because he's the problem.
For Deshaun Watson.
For Deshaun Watson. And we're going to guarantee him $240 million. Yeah, that's a good idea.
By the way, Baker Mayfield, the only quarterback this century to win a playoff game for the Browns.
Thank you. So then he goes to another shiz organization in the Panthers under Matt Rule. What an absolute disaster that is. But he was on four teams in 1 year. He must suck. I love that take.
By the way, that quarterback room had Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield in it at the same time.
And then they went and got Bryce Young. We had those 2 guys who they could have kept. And then they gave up 15 draft picks, 2 number 1s, a number 2, whatever the hell they gave up. All that draft capital. And to get a guy who wasn't nearly as good as Baker Mayfield or Sam Darnold. No. What a great organization. Another fantastic owner and a great David Tepper. Yeah. Jimmy Haslam. Yeah. Good job, guys.
God.
Spill my coffee here. I'm wired today.
Just don't spill it on the board, because I found out the hard way the board does not like liquid inside of it.
Yes.
Especially
never have open near your board, right?
I do it every show.
Should have a top on
this. Right now.
Anyway, so then he goes to the Rams. And he's there for like a half hour with a good offensive mind and Sean McVay and great players around him. Not even great players because they were and Liam Cohen, as they were hurt. And he comes in and he's there for a half an hour in a meeting room and comes off the bench and wins a game with 2 fourth-quarter drives.
He gets there on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Wednesday to learn the playbook. He starts on Thursday Night Football. And he wins the game with 2 fourth-quarter drives.
Yeah, and then played well, the rest of the way. And then he comes to the Bucs, and whoa, look at this. We got a pretty good offensive line, got some decent running backs, got a great wide receiver room, and what do you know? So, with all respect to Dave Canales and Liam Cohen, send your checks or a portion thereof to one Baker Mayfield, because they're the one. He's the dude that got you the job. You guys did a nice job. You really did. And Liam probably a little even better than Dave Canales. But there ain't no way they're getting those jobs without Baker Mayfield running around on 3rd and 8 and having nothing to do with the play you called and making a play.
So I cited that play in week 10. Josh Grizzard is on record this year saying we don't want Baker to get hit so much this year. We're trying to minimize the hits on his body for obvious reasons. Mm-hmm. But I cited that play in week 10 last year against the San Francisco 49ers, where he dodged the hit from Leonard Floyd, jumped up into the pocket right in the path of Nick Bosa, who then he rode with the stiff arm out of bounds as he throws and it's a fourth down.
Yeah.
Rides Bosa with the stiff arm like this out of bounds, completes to Rachaad White for
throwing
a first
back
down.
across his body in a small, tight window. Rachaad makes a great play. And
And I said that play is Baker Mayfield. That is his style. That is his game. That's what he does.
There was a 3rd and 16. I think it was the playoff game. It was 3rd and 16.
Against the Commandos,
Yeah, and he breaks out, and then right at the first down line, three Commanders converge, and he runs over all 3 of them to get the first down. That was my favorite play. I'm like, bitches, look what you did. And then Baker gets up and teabags one of them. That's my favorite when he does that.
Stepped over him,
I'm like, he's like WWE, bro. He's fantastic, and he does it. Like there was a time when people didn't like it because it was, for whatever reason, the planting of the flag, blah, blah, blah. And to me, though, he does it organically. I think he does it organically. And it happens in the moment, in the emotion in the moment. And I'm okay with that. You're seeking out moments to be, for histrionics, and we know who those people are.
Yeah.
That's not cool. But when you're doing it, when the emotion meets the game in the moment, and you do something like that, I got no problem with it. I don't necessarily like you showing up your opponent, but I don't think that's his. I don't really think that's his mindset. It's just more about I'm going to celebrate here. I'm going to get a little bit.
That's how he celebrates. Yeah,
and it gets the crowd going. That's invaluable. That's invaluable, especially in that playoff game. Especially they were dead. They had no energy, and they needed something. And Baker makes a play like that and fires everybody up. Or whether he's lead blocking down the field, running by Bucky and getting guys.
Good block,
whatever it is.
Blocking, yeah.
Yeah. Now that we can curtail. That we don't really need. But it's, it is him. It's him.
Yeah. It's going to be hard to curtail that. I guarantee you. When he's on the field in the heat of the moment and he sees a block that he can help the runner, he's going to do it. I don't care what the coaches tell him. He's going to do it. That's how he plays.
Yep.
And, I wonder if he had not had that short success in LA last year, do you think he was on Jason Light's radar already heading into 2023? Or do you think that sort of put him on this national stage and some of these GMs maybe were like, oh.
No, I think it definitely put him back on the radar. Because I think, there were so many people that were just like, 4 teams in 1 year.
Yeah.
We heard that a lot of that here locally.
Sure.
And it's so out of context and short-sighted.
Yeah.
It just becomes a talking point that people just say because they heard somebody else say it. Yeah. And so I think it definitely put him back on the map. I think then people said, oh, let's pull out the tape and let's see what this guy's all about.
Right.
And when you do that, you're like, we'll get this guy for nothing.
Yeah.
Sign him for $4 million.
God.
Yeah.
Talk about the prove it deal of all prove it deals, right?
Yeah.
And he did.
And I'll say, and I love the signing when we signed him. But I'm not going to be, I'll be honest with you. I said Derek Carr should be an option for the Buccaneers. I said it. Yeah. I admit it. I said it. Because I said I'd rather not, try and force a draft pick. Let's go get a veteran who we know what he can do. And who knows, Derek, he went to a crappy organization with a crappy offensive line, and ended up getting hurt.
Yeah, I always liked Derek Carr.
Could he have been better with the Buccaneers? Yeah, I think he would have been much more successful with the Buccaneers, no question about it. But I'm glad we got Baker. I'm glad the Saints did what they did, and I'm glad we did what we did. But
think about how much more money the Saints paid Derek Carr than the Bucs have paid Baker Mayfield.
Now would Baker? He's such a perfect fit here. And credit Jason Light and his whole Shelton Quarles and the entire Beal and everybody there, the front office for making that deal. That is a franchise changing deal. That's a franchise changing deal because the chances are, if Baker stay healthy, he's gonna be here for probably another 5 to 7 years and be a successful quarterback. And that's like finding somebody in the draft. And that's and I don't, even though he's going to get a significant pay raise next year, you're still going to have 3 years at a very manageable rate. And you got a chance to win a Super Bowl and continue to play well. You didn't have to take the big dip and go to 2-14 like so many teams have to do after winning a Super Bowl or have losing seasons. They didn't do that, and they've rebuilt on the fly, and they've done a hell of a job, and they've done that through the draft and of course finding a quarterback for cheap, and that's the key.
And I don't see Baker Mayfield as ever being the kind of guy or the kind of quarterback or the kind of player who will ever price himself out of his team's ability to keep him if that's where he wants to stay.
Well, he's smart. Yeah. He's smart, and he will make $110 million through these 3 years.
Yep.
And then if he plays well this year, and if he doesn't get hurt, did I expect 45 touchdown passes? I've taken over every year he's been here and won easily in Vegas. I don't even know what the number is this year, but it's probably, if it's last year was 22 and a half. I was like, oh my God.
I think it's like 27 this year.
Oh, man. Yeah. I'm still going way over that. At 27. Yeah. He's going to get into the 30s. No question about it. With a Buca and an improved running game and improved offensive line. Oh God. Yes. Oh yes, absolutely. So yeah, I think it's here for the taking. The Bucs have a great roster. They have a quarterback that's capable of making big plays in the fourth quarter, bringing them back in games, which you got to have. Quarterback's got to be able to do that. Clearly, he has that ability. He got a quarterback ability to improvise and make plays on the run. He clearly has that ability. So this team has everything it needs to win a Super Bowl. They got the edge rusher and Hassan Reddick. They've got everything they need. Does that mean they're going to win it? No. It means they're in the hunt. They're in the hunt. They're one of the 8 teams in the hunt that can do this. So I could not be more excited. So we're going to get to a little bit more in the second half of the show. We'll hear from the assistant coaches talking about Baker Mayfield as well.
By the way, real quick before you move on, here are your touchdown totals from last year, and just listen to the names, okay? Lamar Jackson, 45. Joe Burrow, 45. Baker Mayfield, 44. Josh Allen, 41. Jared Goff, 38. Look at the list of names that he is up there with, all MVP candidates and winners at some point.
His resume last year was as good as any quarterback in the league, bar none. I mean, just look at the numbers, and that's just those are numbers. That's objective. Take the blind resumes and stack them up. Ain't nobody putting Baker Mayfield's name on that. Nobody, except us, because we know what the numbers are.
Yep.
It just is what, because they're narratives, they're false narratives, and they get started, and people are lazy, and they just believe them the rest of their life, and nobody can change, and nobody can get better, and nobody's in a better situation. He just is who he is. Yeah. No, completely wrong, 100% wrong, 1,000% wrong. But as we know in the media, if you tell a lie loud enough and long enough, with as many people as you possibly can muster and pay, that people will start believing the stupidest thing in the world. Like, the president is doing backflips and riding unicycles. I can't even keep up with him. Oh, my God. Every time we're in a meeting, man.
Come on, people.
And people believe that because you want to believe it. Do a little bit more. Have a little bit more open-mindedness. Open your eyes. Baker Mayfield's the real deal. He's the real deal. This ain't, it's not an accident. 2 years in a row is not an accident. Every time he's been surrounded by good people, he's played well. He's not a Josh Allen.
And good coaches. Yeah.
He's not a Patrick Mahomes, but he's damn good.
He also doesn't cost as much as those guys.
Exactly. And to your point, he never will. He's not going to be that guy. He's going to be the Tom Brady that says, I don't need that. I can make that in endorsements and legacy. I'll be, if I want to win, I want to win. If it, how much is enough? He's made probably, and I know, he's got legal issues with his family. I guess
fighting through all of that too at the same time. Yeah.
But even that, I mean, his next contract is going to probably put him over $300 million in career earnings. How much is enough? I mean, and that's even if he doesn't break the bank, So he's smart enough to know that he wants to leave money for Tristan Wirfs and Gedeke and Mike Evans if we want to re-sign him again, and some of these younger players, Bucky Irving, some of these younger players that are coming up. We got the guy. And honestly, I'm not sure there's many quarterbacks in this league I would trade him for at this point.
Baker's made $87 million in his career.
That doesn't include this year.
That won't include 2025, which is the $30 million hit.
$30 million. Yeah. So he's going to be upwards. So 87 plus 3. Wow. So yeah, well over $100 million. Right. Yeah, he's going to have plenty. He's
fine. He's fine with that.
So that's 117. So that gives him, and this next one will probably be, if he plays well this year, what's he going to get? Without breaking the bank? He could ask for $50 million. He could ask for $300 million over 5 years, which would be the going rate, right? And he'd probably say, I'll settle for 200. Give me 200
because he just turned 30.
Yeah, maybe one. Give me 30 million, 35 million a year is fine. We'll be good with that, and that'll leave enough money so we can go get other players.
Yep.
Wow. If Tua wants to eat up 50 million and all these other guys want to eat up 50 million of the cap, good for them. Baker ain't going to do that. In my opinion, I could be wrong.
Or if you're Dak Prescott and you're a mediocre quarterback and you want $60 million a year, you know what? Jerry Jones will pay it.
That's right. If you want
that $60
you can force your team. You can force your team to pay you that. Absolutely, you can. Is that the smartest? Depends on what your priorities are. Do you want to win, or do you want to be the highest paid mediocre quarterback in the league?
Because then you go out and you got to sign players. Then you got to go out and sign players like George Pickens. Sorry, George. That was George calling me right now. It's good timing. It's ridiculous. By the way, just for reference, Dak Prescott, who's been in the league 2 years longer than Baker, has made $248 million. And when he plays out his current contract, because don't forget that $60 million contract he signed starts this year in 2025. So we have 4 years of that. That's going to put him at almost $500 million in career earnings with no Super Bowls, probably 1 or 2 playoff wins by the time his career is over. Yeah,
and Jerry Jones is a great businessman, we're told.
He's a great marketer. Because he'll convince you Dak's the best player in the history of the league.
Is he though?
Well, he was.
I mean, the Cowboys brand. Did he make the Cowboys brand?
You know what? I would say yes. In its current form, I think he did. Now, he did not, obviously, Tex Schramm, Gil Brandt, Tom Landry, those guys all built the original brand. But, dude, think about the state of the Cowboys when Jerry Jones bought the team in 1989.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
They hadn't had a winning season. They were Landry had gone 7-9 and 3-13.
All right. I'll give him a little bit.
Okay.
I'll give him a little bit. All right. Can we get to the Rays for God's sakes? Or no, we
the
have
most
to take
anticlimactic walk-off win ever.
He blistered that ball, didn't he?
And that throw, that was a blister too.
Alex answers. Have you got me exit velocity on that yet?
I got the calculator.
Yeah. All right. Were you trying to get the exit velocity of the final 2 hits for the Rays? It wasn't even a hit.
Brandon Lau and Taylor Walls.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's. By the way, their commenters are just on fire today, so we're gonna get to you guys too as well.
You want to do a break and then get into it?
Yeah. The real quick though, the Rays win last night, 3-2 in a walk off. The most powder puff walk off of all time.
Hey, but it still counts. It
counts, baby. Hey, as much as the bad luck that Danny Jansen scorched 2 balls, both went. I won't even say 6 inches foul. One of them would have been a 2-run homer that went probably about 6 inches foul. And then he hits almost the same exact ball down the line. And there's literally this much foul territory down the line. It's about 1.5 feet. And he hits it 3 inches foul. Like 2 balls in a row. And I'm like, Steinbrenner curse. Yeah. Like there is some type of mojo talisman, bad omen thing that the Yankees buried underneath the mound before they left. I want to see they're going to release the video at the end of the year, whatever the hell that they buried in the infield there, to give the Rays this kind of skanky luck, because you just can't. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable some of the bad luck that they've had in this park.
It makes you want to measure the angle of the baselines at home plate to see if it's 90 degrees, because it might not be. It might be about 85.
Something weird's going on there. Something weird's happening. I'm telling you, we got to go get burn some sage, get some voodoo doctor over there, sacrifice live chickens. Like, we got to do something. We can't just sit here and watch this because it just doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense.
But they got the W, though.
They got a measure of revenge last night. And maybe they did sacrifice a live chicken before the game. I don't know.
I applaud them if they did.
Bring in some of them Ybor City. See, this is where we connected to the Ybor Park. We round up a bunch of these wild Ybor chicken roosters, hens that are running around in Ybor City. Bring them over. Well, we'll have to sacrifice them and then, serve them up. We'll have Wade Boggs come over because he ate chicken before every game. We'll have to sacrifice them up and then pluck them or whatever the hell they do to get them ready to eat, and have Wade come in, have his chicken meal before the game, have him throw out the first pitch while he's eating chicken, an Ybor chicken. And I think I got the whole deal down. I think we just came up with it.
Or maybe we just sacrifice Wade Boggs.
No, we can't do that.
Bury him out in the
The only problem is, like, the Rays, they don't really respect our alumni very much, so we don't know if they would go for that. But
you might.
They are bringing Longo back, so that's good.
Stu might do that just to sell some tickets.
Well, there ain't no doubt about it. Yeah, you know what? He's like, oh wow, we can charge 3 times more for that one. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, great idea. And that's what I need to do. Make him more money. Good All right, let's we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get into the Rays win last night. Jonathan Aranda getting a hit off a left-hander. What do you know? I have some questions for Kevin Cash that we have to have asked. We just have to have asked. Maybe he'll come on the show. Maybe he won't. I don't know. They won't let him. I doubt it, but we can try. We are brought to you by the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVESLawgroup.com. For personal attention in your personal injury situation, that's where you got to go. Jeeves Law Group, JEEVESLawgroup.com. They are local, they are trusted, and they get results. And our first hour is presented by the great folks at On-Site Construction. OnSiteConstructionFL.com is the website. Go to the website, see all the great things they can do for your home. If you're interested in a little restoration or adding on or building from the ground up, it's OnSiteConstructionFL.com. Back in 3. Although it may seem tempting to go without healthcare insurance, the financial risk far outweighs the gain you may experience. For example, did you know if you simply broke your leg, it could cost you nearly $7,500? Put on top of that a hospital stay, you could be looking at $10,000 to $15,000. Ensuring that you don't go uncovered is so important, as according to CNBC, high medical bills are the highest contributing factor to why Americans end up taking money out of their retirement savings, or worse, find themselves filing bankruptcy. So go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. Now, depending on your income, you can get plans for zero premium. Our experts will guide you through the process effortlessly. They will shop many plans and find the one that's right for you. I called and I have full health coverage through Florida Blue for zero monthly premium. It's a free call. So why go uncovered? It's a huge risk. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505. Spring means a time of renewal and Rays baseball, and the folks at Italiano Insurance want to welcome the Rays to Tampa and remind you it's time to renew those insurance policies with the now famous Italiano Insurance Checkup. Let the experienced and friendly agents shop your policy for the best price and coverage. Famous for saving me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year and over $500 on our homeowners. Now that's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Costs less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a big whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with the all-star agents at Italiano Insurance. 813-877-7799 or go to ItalianoInsurance.com. Go Rays! JP here for Riveters, our new official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. And just like our show, no BS, no corporate chain feel, just amazing, authentic folks serving great comfort food in a casual atmosphere at unheard of prices. Riveters is located just south of Raymond James and Steinbrenner Field on Dale Mabry, walking distance to the park. So free parking, great place for pregame and postgame. Let's talk about fresh food. Nothing is frozen. Burgers, wings, prime rib, roasted fresh daily, never frozen. That makes a huge difference. The mahi, the salmon, also super fresh. All our sauces are original recipes made in-house. Our Warhawk chili and fully loaded potato soup is made fresh in-house. It's the best food anywhere, served by people who actually care. Riveters on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of where the Bucs and Rays play. We'll see you there. Are you looking to renovate your home, rebuild after the hurricanes, or build your dream home from scratch? Well, let me tell you about my friend Jason Fawcett and On-Site Construction. They have over 1,450 satisfied clients, 25 years of experience, over 500 designs, and a talented team of over 40 construction professionals. They believe building something exceptional begins by truly focusing on all the details, even the smallest ones. We understand that construction can be a daunting process, and we're here to make it as smooth and stress-free as possible. Quality is non-negotiable at On-Site Construction. We use the finest materials, employ the most skilled tradespeople, and adhere to the highest industry standards to deliver a product we're proud of and that you're going to love. Our project management is meticulous with a focus on completing projects on time and on budget. Your happiness is our primary driver. So give us a call at 813-579-5789 or check out our incredible website at onsiteconstructionfl.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the Golden Diamond Source. Through the end of the month, their trade-in value is doubled up to $2,500. So bring something in to trade in, and they will give you double the value up to $5,000. So going into the Golden Diamond Source, 3800 Almerton Road, and online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. All right, so the Rays win last night, 3-2. They walk it off with Taylor Walls, an exciting walk-off. Do we have the play?
We do. Would you like to see it?
I would love to see
everybody sit down, because you're not going to see another play like this in the major leagues for a while.
Forged. Yes.
The 2-2. And a pop fly ball back into left.
That left or deep short?
The tag, the catch made by
That's McCormick.
The throw to the plate. It's not a
what a throw!
The Rays win it on the fly ball.
What a throw!
That ball had backspin on it. It hit the infield. It checked up by the pin. What? I mean, look, he had a 1-2 pitch that he took that was a strike and didn't get called. Okay. This is after Taylor Walls failed to get the bunt down the other day in a crucial situation with the tying run on third.
We popped it up.
Yeah. So in the inning, Christopher Morel walks on a 3-2 pitch, and he fouled off a tough pitch at 3-2, and fouled off a couple of tough pitches, swung through a couple, and then gets the walk on a non-competitive pitch, really. So I'm not going to say it was a great take, but he gets on, and then Brandon Lau doubles. I mean, he hits a ball, and credit Brandon Lau, instead of trying to swing for the fences, like we've seen so many guys do, he just served it out to left field. Exit velocity 73 miles per hour and a launch angle of 27 degrees, and it went 233 feet. But he put it out to left field, and there was nobody there. So Morel's at third, and Bilau is at second. Josh Lowe comes up. First pitch he sees, he tries to swing for the fences and pops it up to the infield. So now we're like second and third, nobody out, and like, here we go again. Here we go again, second and third, nobody out, and we get an unproductive out from Josh Lowe. Way to go. And we're like, oh, shiz. Guess who's coming up next? Taylor Walls. Oh, my God. So no Taylor comes up. No chance, right? He comes up, gets it to 1-2. 1-2, like just looking terrible at the plate. And then he serves up that sac fly. Let me see the exit velocity at. So we had 72, exit velocity of 82.2 miles per hour, and a launch angle of 49 degrees. It goes 262 feet. 262 feet. That's not even getting out of a softball field.
No.
Right? It's deep short, and Chas McCormick can't throw a guy out. I mean,
if anybody other than Chaz, my grandmother, who's been dead for 100 years, was playing left field, she could have made that throw. If anyone else is playing left field for the Disastros, that's an out.
But man,
it wasn't.
And everybody's saying, "You guys, we win a game, and you're still bitching. You're still bitching."
We're not bitching. We're laughing. Okay, we're just laughing.
Got it done, man. Whatever it takes. And like I said, they had the Jansen thing was ridiculous. They had bad luck. That was another situation where this was so funny. I don't know if you saw this last night. So the home plate umpire, Josh Lowe's up, third strike. He tries to check swing, right? And the umpires, the home plate umpire was so slow with his he'd yell it and then
I hate that.
Do it. Porter, I think his name is. And so he checks swings, and the catcher goes, to appeal to third base umpire, and the third base umpire goes like this, goes no swing, and then he realizes, oh shit, the home plate umpire already called it a strike.
Oops.
So then he goes like this, he goes, like he was like, I was just going to adjust my hat. I didn't do anything.
Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here.
It was so funny. He goes, no, I'm just adjusting my hat here. He goes up to the hat.
Oh my God, that is awesome.
So Cash comes out and he's like, what? They appealed to third. He said no swing. And bottom line is, he goes, oh no, I didn't do that. I'm just adjusting my hat over here. Don't worry, don't be watching me.
You think that came up in the umpire's locker room after the game?
That was funny. That was really, really funny. And Cash came out, and the replay showed that he pretty much covered the plate with the bat. So they got the right call, but it was funny. It was definitely funny. So, Mr. We can't have you bat against left-handers, Aranda, because we got to put Curtis Mead in the game, who bats 100 points less than I do. Even against, we showed the numbers yesterday. I think Mead's like 170 against left-hand pitching, and Aranda's hitting got to be 245 now after last night. Gets a huge hit off a left-hander. That was the big hit of the game with actual exit velocity. And hits a bullet single to right, brings in 2 runs to tie the game in the 8th. I mean, they had done shiz till that point offensively again. It's horrible to watch. So for most, I'm guessing most fans just left by the time. Like, what hope is there? This offense is so bad. But Aranda, and you cannot, even Matt Joyce even said it after the game. He said, Aranda's got to hit against left-handers. You're putting guys in there that aren't even as good. So what are you doing? Like the analytics, it makes no sense. They keep putting Curtis Mead in there to play. It's just ridiculous. If they do that against another left-hander, can somebody please ask Kevin Cash after the game, why are you doing this? Mead is 70 points less, slashing across the board, almost 50% better than Curtis Mead against left-handers. Not to mention the fact he's the best hitter on your team. Like, at what point do you stop doing this insanity? And last night they started Caballero in center field over Simpson. Why? Let the guy learn how to hit against lefties. He can be your leadoff hitter for another 10 years and lead the league in steals. Listen, Cabby did okay in center field. I'm not saying, he made a couple good plays. There may have been a couple plays that maybe Simpson could, but Simpson's got to learn how to play center field. He hasn't played a lot of center field.
Yeah.
He's got to learn it. Put Cabby at short. That's his natural position, or keep him in the infield. We need his bat in the lineup. But I'm not sitting Simpson down. That's ridiculous.
I'll put him at second.
Yeah,
Him at second.
Really, absolutely. I do not get this Curtis Mead thing, and we still are. The fact that he's still on this team, and I know he got a hit last night. Was 1 for 2 last night.
Yeah,
but 185 still. It's just not getting it done.
I'm baffled still by it's all related. I'm still baffled by the Chandler Simpson, their use or lack thereof. I know why you use him as a pinch runner and why you want him there, but you don't ever put your team in a position where you need a pinch runner. I mean, yesterday,
is it better to have him on base or going up a plate 5 times? Right. Opportunity to get on base more than once as a pinch runner?
It is.
And the fact that he's hitting the ball in clutch situations. This guy, for a rookie, what he's done in clutch situations is off the charts. And he's doing it against left-handers, right-handers, anybody. He puts the bat on the ball, unlike a lot of these other jamokes. I mean, I don't understand this lineup this year. These decisions make no freaking sense. You can't make an analytical case for Curtis Mead in any situation over Aranda.
No, there's no way.
And if you can, please, bip people, zip bap, bip bap, whatever the hell you want to, analytic thing you want to bring up, show it to me. Because there ain't no way. There ain't no way that Curtis Mead should ever play over Jonathan Aranda, ever, on any planet, even in Australia. No.
Good day, mate.
No, never.
It's mind-boggling, and like we say it every day. It's almost like Cash is doing this on purpose for some reason. Like there's no other explanation for this to be happening game after game after game.
And Yandy Diaz again in the one hole. He got a hit last night, but no RBIs. No RBIs.
Hitting a walk. He walked too. But
yeah, I mean, get him in the 3 or 4 position where his singles are going to mean something. Move people and do something. This lineup makes no sense ever. And every time they put it out, it makes 0 sense in terms of traditional baseball.
Yeah.
If there's some analytic formula, I would sure like to see it or have Kevin Cash explain it to me because it makes no sense.
Well, and if it is an analytical thing, it's not working.
No.
So
no, it's not.
You should have abandoned it by now already.
Yeah. All right, let's get to some of the comments here, especially Rays related. Brandon Weed says JP Cash is playing Little League rules where every player has to play at least 1 inning a game. If not, their moms will be upset. Okay, Jackson. Looks like you got to get your 2 innings in here. Here, Spalding. Come here. Stop picking your nose. Get over here. Yeah, you're going in the 9th. We got to put you in the 9th here.
Hey, Meisner, your mom just texted me. You got to get in the game. She's got to leave.
She's got to leave. She's got to go to work. She want to see you hit one time. Come on, Simpson.
She wanted to see you strike out before she leaves.
Hey, Cabby, you're in center field today. Your dad's here. He's on work release. So you get to play today. Hey, at least it's a reason. At least I know now. At least I know.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I get that. That sounds good to me. At least better than like, he's our left-hander pitching today. We must have all right-handers in the lineup. Like, oh my God. Even if they're hitting 049, yes, must have right-hander. Okay.
Well, they got a right-handed pitcher today in Hunter Brown, who's 6-2 with a 1.43 ERA. So I can't wait to see what the lineup looks like for today.
It ain't gonna matter when they face quality pitching.
Well, is that quality pitching? 6-2, I guess it is 6-2 with a 1.43 ERA. That's pretty quality, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, I would say that's pretty quality.
Yeah.
Am I going to the game today?
I don't know. You were gonna go. You were
yes,
gonna go
I am.
Yesterday.
Yes, I am. I'm going to the game today. My lunch date has confirmed. Yes, let's go. We were gonna go to Hooters.
What time is the game today?
But now we're going to Riveters.
Oh, it's a 1:10. Huh?
You want to go to Hooters? That's not my pick because I always go to Riveters.
Would you like to know the lineup for today? It's already out. We already have it.
Beautiful. Oh yeah, here we go.
Leading off,
if Curtis Mead in this
at
DH, I'm going to go down there and take the bat from him.
Yandy Diaz in
Leading
the 2
off.
hole, playing right field. Josh Lowe.
Okay.
In the 3 hole at second base, Brandon Lau.
Brandon Lau is okay.
Yep, third. Batting 4th at first base, Jonathan Aranda.
Thank you.
Batting 5th at shortstop, Jose Caballero.
Yep.
Batting 6th, playing left field, Chandler Simpson.
Okay, let's get him used to left field. Okay.
Batting 7th in center field, Cameron Meisner. Batting 8th, JP, playing third base, your man, Curtis Mead.
What?
Batting 9th, playing
Wait,
catcher,
whoa.
Ben Rortvedt.
Curtis Mead is in there for Caminero.
Playing third base today. Batting 8th.
All right.
Yeah.
Who's batting ninth?
Your catcher, Ben Rortvedt.
Rortvedt's in the freaking game.
Yeah.
Because last night.
He's a lefty.
Yeah. Because Jansen is hotter than a match. In his last 6 games, I think he's hitting 333. He almost hit a home run last night. He's hotter than a match. Had the big home run the other day. So we got to sit him down because it's a day game after a night game, and put this Jamoke in there. Rortvedt. This is absolute malpractice. So Yandy's in the top, right?
Yep. Yandy, Lowe, and then Lowe, Aranda, Caballero, Simpson, Meisner, Mead, and Rortvedt.
All right. Here's my lineup. Here's my alternate lineup. Okay. Simpson at the top forever until he dies. So we put him in the grave. Simpson leading off. Why would you have Yandy Diaz lead off instead of Simpson at the top? You got a dominant pitcher. You're not going to get a lot of hits. You got to try to get people on base and disrupt things.
Yeah.
Why Yandy Diaz at the top of it makes no effing sense. Ridiculous. You know who I am putting into 2-hole? I'm putting Cabby into 2-hole.
There you go.
I like Cabby in 2-hole. And then in the 3-hole, I'm putting Yandy Diaz. I got 2 speedy guys at the top of the lineup that are going to steal bases for me. And then I got Yandy moving people. All right.
And you're going left, right.
Yeah. And then I'm going Aranda. I like Aranda in the 4th
lefty.
spot.
Okay.
Lefty right there. Then I'm going
Curtis Mead.
Then I'm going. No, first of all, Curtis Mead ain't playing. Caminaro's into 5-hole.
Right.
And I know he's hit into 7,000 double plays, but he's my stud. You know, I traded away Isaac Paredes, who hit another home run last night, his 8th of the year, while Morel just is awful. He's awful. He's got to play. I don't care how many double plays he hits into. He's playing today. He's just going to play. He's going to play forever. And then in the 6th hole, I got Belau.
Okay.
In the 6th hole. 7 hole, Meisner in the 7 hole. And then Danny Jansen in the 8 hole. I don't give a crap. You're playing today. I'm not putting Rortvedt out there unless it's an emergency situation.
Right.
I'm just not. I got to win games.
Or maybe a double header or something.
Yeah. Who am I leaving out? Did I leave out somebody? Jansen's in the 8 hole.
Yeah, we need your 9 hitter.
No. Who do I leave? I don't know who they are. Josh Lowe. If I don't have Josh Lowe, you know what? I'm putting Josh Lowe I might move him up. Yeah, instead of Belau, I'm going to put Josh Lowe in the 6 hole.
Okay.
And then I'm going to put Belau in the 9 hole because
lefty. There you go.
Yeah. So that's my alternate lineup today. Chandler Simpson leading off, and I got him in center field. He's the center fielder and leadoff man for the rest. Learn how to play it. I got Cabby in the 2 hole. You got Yandy in the 3 hole. Aranda 4 hole. Caminero in the 5. J-Lo in the 6 hole. Meisner in the 7 hole. Jansen in the 8 hole, and Belau. That's way better than Yandy, J-Lo, Belau, Aranda, Caballero, Chandler Simpson. That lineup makes there's no continuity to it. Why is Chandler Simpson just stuck in there?
It's sick.
I mean, worst case, you got to play. He's in the double leadoff spot in the 9 hole.
Yeah. Right.
Like what is he doing there? Like, what sense does any of this make?
He's buried.
What sense does it make? Like, please tell me why each person is in this situation. That lineup makes zero freaking sense. Zero freaking sense.
So I have a secondary theory. You know how I do my what we call dartboard picks for my winners on From the Rough?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if Kevin Cash is part of some program where he lets like sick kids pick his lineup every day, and they're just like flipping coins.
I don't know. I mean, I'd love to ask him. Like, okay, tell me what goes into this lineup. Like, give me some reasons why everybody's, where they're at. Now, I understand Jansen caught last night and it's a day game. I kind of get that. But I'm also like, for one, we got an off day tomorrow. There's an off day tomorrow. Okay? So I want Jansen in the lineup today. I want him to play, he's not that old. I want him you know what? Suck it up today. And I want you to go out there and play because you're hitting the ball well. Yeah. Rortvedt is an absolute automatic out. He can't throw anybody out. None of our catchers can, but can't throw anybody out. He's a pair of shoes. It's a complete pair of shoes. Any organization that puts him out there, especially in the starting lineup, is not a serious organization. You're just putting people out there at low cost salary to play a game and collect ticket money. That's all you're doing. That is a complete give up. There's nothing. Sorry. Today Jansen, you're hot. You're starting to play well. You haven't done much this year as a whole, so I'm just going to put you out. You got an off day tomorrow. You'll be fine. You're a major leaguer. You make $8 million a year. Go play. Is that hard to do? Is it that hard? Sorry.
So let me ask you this. What do you know about Dominic Keegan? Does he have any kind of future with the big club?
I have no idea. No idea. I guess he's a AAA catcher that we have. First of all, organizationally,
yeah, he's out
why
of
do we suck at catcher? Organizationally, why are we so bad at catcher?
That's my question.
why?
Keegan's your number one catching prospect.
Yeah. Why are we so bad? Why do we not have anybody that can hit more than 090, 040 or whatever the hell Rortvedt's hitting? Why? Because we're cheap and we pay no attention. I don't know why. But that is an organizational whiff.
So Keegan is 24 years old and he's playing rookie ball. But he was on that Vanderbilt team that made that 2019 run to the College World Series.
2019?
Yeah.
2019?
Yeah. He's part of that team. He's almost 25 years old. He was drafted in 2022.
And he's our best catching prospect.
He is your best catching prospect at
he's 25 years old and he's in rookie ball.
Rookie ball. And I don't see anybody.
That says it all. I think that says it all.
I don't see another catcher on the. Oh, here we go. Nathan Fluelling is in Double-A. He's 18, 6'2", 200 pounds. Bats left, throws right.
Nathan Fluelling?
Nathan Fluelling. Playing for the River Dogs.
Like my chemistry teacher in third grade.
But he's 18.
Did I take chemistry in third grade?
He's drafted a lot third grade. I don't know, but you played kickball.
Yeah. That was damn good.
Dude, none of these guys are major league prospects at catcher. I mean, this guy could develop. He's only 18 and he's at Double-A already, but
yeah. Scotty Fitz is back. He says it's like Cash is on a bad blackjack run, waiting for the cards to change, playing mead. That is so spot on. Bro, get up from the table and go to another dealer. For God's sakes. You haven't won a hand since late April. Since the middle of April, where he was hitting jamokes that known him in spring training, hitting 900, with his wonderful Australian accent. Great guy, lovable, all that. But my God, the dude has not gotten a hit since Port Charlotte. I mean, can we just move on? And you keep throwing. He's like playing every day. He plays every day. Yeah. What is going on?
I wonder if some of these guys have like naked pictures of Cash's wife or something.
Oh, there has to be a reason because there's nothing else that makes sense. Yeah, what's the reason? Rick says Cash being forced to use Chat GPT to make the lineup. However, it's a Temu version. Stu got free after buying the tarp.
Where is the tarp, by the way? It's still not on the stage.
We have news on that.
Oh.
Colleen, according to our wonderful commenters here, Daniel Rivera, who's on top of it all the time, says from Colleen Wright in the Times this morning, 50% of the roof already made. Remainder done in the next 30 days. Materials been shipped from Germany to China for assembly. All right, so
I find that very hard to believe.
All right, so I thought they were like, I thought it said like 50% of the roof is
installed.
Like, yeah, no, so it's already made. So we're waiting for the tariffs to go down, which was a good idea. That's right. That's good. It was never going to be permanent. Duh. So 50% of the roof is already made. The remainder is done in the next 30 days. What's the return policy? That's what I need to know.
Ship that thing if it's already put together when it gets here.
Well, it is fabric, so you fold it.
You got to fold it, but dude, that's going to be huge, even folded.
Yeah, I don't know. You put it on a ship in a container, right?
I guess about 1,000 containers.
That's a lot of fabric.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the hurricane season. It'll be fine.
Yeah, aren't we just now entering hurricane season again, right? June 1st. We're a week away from hurricane season again.
So, and think about this, right? When it's installed, when it's properly installed, okay, it supposedly will be up to Cat 5 rated, all right? But it's not going to be properly installed for the next 3 months. It's going to be partly installed. So you're going to have an open side, right? An open side of the trop while you place the fabric on it, right? So you're going to have, if you have a hurricane come through, the wind is going to come through it. For those watching on or not listening or on podcast, I'm using my hand like,
right.
Think about it. Wind coming from the, wind swirling, and it's not all properly, because when it's installed, it's airtight, right? So there's no, think about it. It's like a sail. If a sail is, it's airtight and there's no air coming from underneath, that keeps it stable, right? But when if it's half quarter installed, half installed, then it's just getting buffered by the wind, like a sail. And I'm pretty sure it ain't going to be able to handle 115, 120 mile an hour winds. So you're going to be installing this in the middle of hurricane season. Who's insuring that for $27 million?
Flow at Progressive.
I don't think they have a bundle that's going to work for that.
The General. Does Shaq and the General, you think they
I don't think Flo has a bundle. You can do Stu's RV, you can do his dog, and you can do, what else can we put in the bundle? We can put his four Mercedes and his McLaren, and then the roof. You might be able to bundle them together and get a good deal. I don't know. But I don't think even Flo is going to have it. I think Flo's going, yeah, I'm not doing that. No. You're going to have an open sale during hurricane season as you put this up. And think about that. Yes, we laugh about it, but the city of St. Pete is gambling 27, up to $56 million to redo the trop. And we're really going to do this? Come on, man.
JP, I've got some bad news for everybody. As warmer waters in the Atlantic and the Gulf of America are giving potential storms more fuel to grow, the La Nina pattern is fading. We're moving into neutral conditions, which means there's less wind shear to tear storms apart. We're going to have an active monsoon season in West Africa that could send more tropical waves our way. Those are the seeds that grow into hurricanes. There are projected 13 to 19 named storms this season, 7 to 10 hurricanes, with 3 to 5 of those being category 3 or higher. And here's why everyone in Tampa should pay special attention. Experts are pointing to the Gulf Coast of Florida, including Tampa Bay, as a zone with a higher chance of being impacted this year. Experts say they could see 3 to 6 U.S. landfalls in western Florida, and that is an elevated risk zone.
Yeah, Flo ain't dealing with that.
That roof ain't going to be there in another couple of months.
That whole Progressive crew, they could make a whole series of commercials out of that. Good ones, too. Good ones. Yeah. Who's the girl? There's the whiny girl. I like her. She's so funny. Sorry, Stu.
The voice. Yeah.
Sorry, Stu. No room at the end for you.
No soup for you.
We won't even bundle that. Sorry.
Man.
Yeah. I mean, if you're the city council, you're like, Jesus Christ. With this thing's going to be half put on. Here comes Hurricane John.
Wouldn't it be funny if there was one named Hurricane Stu?
Oh, my God.
How great would that be?
Pull up the names.
Let's see what we got for hurricane names for 2025.
Pull up the names. Pull up the names. And we're just having fun. Please don't get, it's not a joking matter. Come on.
No, there is no Stu. We have an Andrea, Barry, Chantal, Dexter, Aaron, Fernand, Gabrielle.
Aaron as in Aaron Judge?
Erin.
Aaron?
Girl Aaron.
Oh, girl Aaron. Okay.
Hurricane Judge. Umberto, Imelda, Jerry.
We have an Umberto?
We're going to have an Umberto. We're also going to have a Hurricane Karen.
Oh, God, that's it.
It's going to be that, right?
Karen's taking aim.
Melissa.
Hurricane Karen is going to be a spiteful bitch, boy. That's going to be a spiteful bitch that stays around for a long time. You should not have named us. That was a poor planning whoever did that.
We're going to have
Hurricane Karen. An Olga?
Olga, Pablo, Rebecca, Tanya, and Van.
Rebecca's going to be a nasty one, too.
So
yeah, I've dated a Rebecca. Rebecca's are nasty.
Dated a Tanya.
And drunk.
So there you go.
What else? We got Tanya?
And Van?
VAN?
VAN.
Yeah.
It's going to be Asian, an Asian hurricane.
Watch out for Karen.
Watch out for Karen, Rebecca, and Tanya.
Oh, God, yes. All of those. Yeah. Yeah, we're so sexist here. It's funny because those names scare me more than any of the dude's name. Pablo?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, Escobar.
Are you scared of a Hurricane Barry? Hurricane Dexter?
Hurricane Dexter. Wow.
Oh.
Leave dead bodies everywhere.
Buried. At least still buried.
All right, let me. We got a lot of. Let's tell you what. Let's take a break and we'll come back and do comments. We got a lot of good comments to get to, and you guys can comment on the Hurricanes too. Please don't at me with the series. Come on, we're having a little bit of fun here this morning. Yeah, we got to get to the offensive assistants. We got some comments there. Tush push. I'm telling you, Bucs got to vote against. Ban that thing. Why not? Ban it. Hurt the Eagles. Do whatever you can.
Yeah.
This is football. You know, I'm not standing, not being a nice guy here. All right, so we'll do that when we come back. We're brought to you by the great folks at Riveters. Riveters is your place, by the way. If you're having a meeting, I was over there yesterday, and one of the things they want to tell people is they've got great meeting space. Now, if you're looking for something formal, obviously this is not the place. But if you want to have kind of an informal meeting that's not going to cost you $1 billion and you want great food and a casual atmosphere, like there's not many places like that. They have a private room that has all the AV hookups for you. If you want to do PowerPoint things, you want to show some videos, they can hook all that up for you. They got a nice outdoor area with a big screen that you can rent as well, with the stage and the speakers and everything where we do our remotes. So they got all kinds of cool spaces out there if you want to rent it for a party, because, renting places for parties can be ridiculously expensive. And obviously with the great folks at Riveters, they keep it very, very reasonable, and you'll have a great time. And the food is fantastic. They do a great job catering it. So if you're going to have a meeting or a special gathering, you can do a private room at riveterstampa.com. Contact them through the website and tell them JP sent you. Back in 3. Stay with us. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com. JP here for the Gold and Diamond Source. You know, we told you about the amazing Diamond Savings Account where your diamond never loses its value. Well, now, through the end of May, the Gold and Diamond Source will double your trade-in value up to $2,500. Just bring in your jewelry to trade, and your $2,500 piece turns into $5,000. It's time to upgrade that ring, earrings, whatever. We have gemologists on site to make the deal. Double your trade value up to $2,500. Get you $5,000 to spend. So go through your jewelry box and get that stuff you never wear and get something new and stylish that you're going to love. Great experience, and we will double your trade-in now till the end of May. We can finance you as well. No interest for 5 years. Only at the Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Ulmerton Road. Always online at goldanddiamond.com. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves, who lives right here and has long been a highly respected member of our community. He's a proud sponsor of the Tampa Riverwalk. Jeeves Law Group is also a proud sponsor of our Grand Central District in St. Pete and has neighborhood events throughout the year. He has an office on Central Avenue in St. Pete and one on South Howard in Tampa. You can't get more local than that. So when you need an attorney, you're going to hire some huge firm that advertises all over the state or the one that supports your favorite sports show. It's the Jeeves Law Group. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. For personal injury and personal attention, call us for a free case evaluation. That's 8889-JEEVES. That's 8889-JEEVES. Hey, Tampa Bay, it's time to get your AC unit ready for summer. And here at Third Generation Plumbing and Mechanical, we recommend getting ahead of the game, keeping your family cool before the hot summer months with one of our maintenance agreements in the hopes of avoiding the dreaded emergency service call. Our maintenance agreements include, we'll test the electrical components, check and tighten high and low voltage wire connections. We'll check the refrigerant for manufacturer's performance levels, test thermostats, calibrate if needed, clean the evaporator coil and condenser coil, and clear and treat the drain line and drain pans. Just call us at 813-961-8024 for the special rates, and a human will actually answer. 813-961-8024 or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Get your AC tuned up for the summer. It's a great deal. Go to the website, find out all about it, give them a call, and it's good to get to know the folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC, because if something were to go wrong, you'd already have their number. You already know about the great service. You already will have dealt with them, and you'll know the great service that you had. You don't want to just something happens and then, try to go find somebody and you don't know who they are, what they are, how good their work is. So get this done. Get your unit tuned up for the summer. It's very inexpensive. Just go talk. There's a couple different plans they have, and you can even get a maintenance agreement for your air conditioner unit. It's going to save you a lot of money. But more than anything, make sure it's ready to go, because there's certain things, if you let it go, you're going to need a whole new unit. It could cost you like $20,000. So this is money well spent, and you get to know the great folks at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. So give him a call over there. John Rodriguez is the head man. Great dude. Great supporter of our show. We really appreciate him. So if you love the show, please call them, contact them, and just have them come out and take a look at your air conditioner unit. So it's a great idea for the summer. All right, so let's get into some of these great comments that are coming in. We haven't talked about the hockey yet. The enemy of your enemy is your friend. Let's go, Carolina Hurricanes.
Definitely.
So I'm watching the game last night.
Yuck.
In Lundell, 0-0 at the time. Lundell, boom. I think Carolina was on. Yeah, Carolina's on the power play. Aho's kind of in the bumper position. And Lundell cross-checks him in the back once. And Aho looks at him and says, I'm not going to retaliate. We're on the power play. Cross-checks him again, this time in the neck. So then Aho responds. Penalty on Aho.
It's a joke.
What the Panthers have been doing all playoffs long. The whistle blows every freaking time. Boom, boom, boom. Watch it. And watch it. Watch the Panthers play. The puck is away for a half a count. They finish their hits every time. That's a penalty.
It's late.
That's a penalty. It's a late hit. And they do it every single time. Now, Carolina's trying to give it back to them a little bit, but I don't see them hitting it late every single time. Like every time a guy gets rid of the puck, the Panthers are hitting them late. every single time, just like they did to the Lightning. Cheap shots. It's only a matter of time. You saw Marchand do it last night, but this particular one. So instead of Carolina having about 20 seconds of 5-on-3 in a 0-0 game, and then getting back-to-back power plays, all right, what happens? They give Florida the power play. They play 4-on-4 for 20 seconds or whatever. Florida gets the power play and they effing score. And off they go. It's a 5, and it ends up 5-2. I know I sound like a whiny bitch that works for the Lightning. I know I do, but I just can't. I'm not going to sit here and be quiet about it. The way they play is dirty. It's uncalled for, and the NHL just lets them do it because it's the playoffs. And it's stupid. I don't get it. I don't get it. So that's all I'm going to say about it.
Is there? So I can't figure out. Is there a reason why the league would favor the Panthers to win the Stanley Cup? Because it certainly looks like that's what's happening.
GM
right?
is the son of the.
Well, I get that, but I mean,
I don't want to believe in that conspiracy, but
no, but that's just always how it looks, right? Like what have we been talking about? The refs favoring the Chiefs for 5 years now.
It's not a great look. It's not a great look. I think Carolina can come back. But we'll see. We'll see. It's only one game. Bucs Rays. Bolt says, "Who's ready? Push be gone. Who going to be banned?" Listen, we've talked about this, and in principle, I like what Todd Bowles says about this. Is like it's a team that got good at something. Everybody else is allowed to do it. They can't do it as well. Why should we ban it? In principle, I agree with that. And I admire him for standing on principle. But
yeah,
there's no question that the Eagles, they're in the NFC. You got to go through them, or somebody's got to beat them
right
to get to the Super Bowl. If you're the Buccaneers, they're one of your chief rivals. If I look at the NFC, I see the Eagles number one. We got to beat them, and we got to play them in the regular season. So if you have an opportunity to take away one of their weapons, and one they use tremendously well. This is a significant weapon they use to win games. I don't care what you say. If you have a chance to get rid of it, get rid of it. This is football. I understand the argument. I get it. But in this sense,
yeah.
What if you're the swing vote and they come here and score 3 touchdowns on the tush push? Well, that's being soft. I'm not a win at all cost guy, but
yeah.
You know what? You got a chance to do something here, do it. And I think it's good for the game in terms of more safety, because I've said this a million times. If you watch the tush push, it's pretty neutral at the point of attack. They have a little bit of advantage because they know what they're doing. But almost every single time, he gets stymied at about, and then he gets pushed, and that's what gets him into the end zone. So if you and they've tweaked this rule change, and now it's like you can't carry or push someone in. That's all it needs to be done, and I think you're fine. I don't think it's going to be the weapon that it has been. So just do that, and I say in the name of safety, because I think it is. I think it is. But I mean, do you disagree, guys?
It's ridiculous.
I mean, I on principle, I wouldn't want them doing it to us, but you know what? They would.
100%.
Yeah. John Hill says, "Hey, President Trump has gotten the U.S. Postal Service working again, Tim. Received my FanStream Sport cap and shirt. Many thanks. Wore the cap at my bi-weekly stretch. I saw him. He posted it or sent me a picture. It looked great."
Oh, did he? Good. Yeah, because he
great.
mentioned on the comment section, like, I guess, late last week or something, or maybe, I don't remember when it was, but that he never got it, that I sent him. So I was like, well, crap. So I sent another one in the mail for him, and that's the one he got, was the second one. So he may get a bonus one if it ever shows up. I don't know.
All right. He also says, if Hooters had a home delivery service, the name Knockers would work. Yes. Yes.
That's pretty good.
We sent out our knockers with your order. Should be there. Ooh, knock it on your door.
They got to have knockers, though, if we're going to do that.
What are you saying?
They got to have big boobs.
Daniel Rivera says, good morning, gentlemen. Places to visit on the bucket list. Churchill Downs, been there. Augusta, been there. Indianapolis, nope. Green Bay, been there. Wrigley Field, been there. Fenway Park, been there. Yes. Bucket list show upcoming, and the Rose Bowl. I've been there as well. And Dodger Stadium, been there as well. So I got most of them.
Yep.
Got most of them. Rick says, JP's fired up. He must still be feeling the effects of the big Rays comeback last night. Oh, it was scintillating. It was scintillating.
And underwhelming at the same time.
Aranda's hit was legit. That was 101 off the bat.
Yeah.
That was against the lefty, a tough lefty, a really tough lefty. But we got to make sure Curtis Meade plays against him. We got to have Aranda on the bench. My God. So silly. Nathan says it was the Rams or Buccaneers for Baker. Nobody wanted him. It's true. Rams had a hefty salary on Stafford, couldn't afford Baker, didn't want people to want to bench Stafford if he didn't play well. Yeah, well, they just didn't need him. Thank God they let him go. It's see if we'll see. So what they're saying, Colleen Wright did a piece that they're saying they purchased it, it's being assembled, and it's on the way. So I guess they're going to do it. Right at it that say people get shipment of the new Trop roof in August. It will be a white roof. August.
Why has it got to be white?
So the baseball can't be seen. Duh.
Guess so.
Yes. Why would you want a dark background?
That's
true.
true.
You actually be able to see the baseball.
True. We're going to paint the catwalks too.
William Madden says, you're right about Baker, JP. Many in national media like Colin Cowherd can't stand him. Yeah, it's just lazy. It's lazy. It's a lazy take. It's a lazy take. Go watch some film from the last couple of years. So bad. What's up with Colin Cowherd still talking about Tampa because he lived here 35 years ago and thinks it's the same place. And the Bucs are the same organization. Oh, I worked there back in this. So let me tell you something about Tampa and the Buccaneers 35 years ago.
Jesus.
Just think about the idiocy of that.
I can't stand that dude.
Rick says, what's up with the soft-ass NFC North? Green Bay, no tush push. Lions want to change the playoff. Bears, no clue with nail polish quarterback. Damn, Rick. Ruthless. I don't think it's soft trying to get rid of the tush push. Well, maybe it is. Maybe
I don't think so. It's a you know what? It's a danger to the player's safety.
I think it is. But again, what the Commanders did on the goal line was legal.
Yeah.
It was legal. Okay. The rules call for half the distance to the goal line. You're already at the 6-inch line. What do I care? I'm going to try to time the snap, jump over it, and hit the quarterback as many times as I can. And I'm going to keep doing it until somebody wins. Right? Yeah. So that's that. I mean, and then forcing a ref in a game like that to say, let me remind you that I can award a touchdown. Everybody's like, what?
What?
Say what? What did he just say? You can award a touchdown? In what world? So don't we want to avoid that? Trying to come up with some good reasons to be petty and vote against it. just to benefit us.
I just hate the play. There's nothing exciting about it.
No, well, there's not. Daniel Rivera said new Trop roof tariffs per Wright's piece, $100K was set aside, and they're not sure if it's still going to be enough. Spoiler, it won't be. I disagree. We'll see.
Yeah.
Why don't we just start making fabric roofs or stadiums in Hurricane Alley here in America?
Right.
Because it's a dumb idea. That's why.
Why don't we have fabric roofs on all the FEMA trailers after Hurricane Katrina?
Yeah, great idea.
Save some money.
Kenneth McClary, good morning to you. Said a thing I like about Baker Mayfield is how when different quarterbacks hand the ball off, most of them seem to become spectators. Baker several times is seen running downfield looking for a block. Yeah, I love that moxie. But, yeah, we'll hear from Thad Lewis in a second about that. I mean, how much would you love it if he gets his block knocked off and he's injured and can't play the rest of the season? Because I'm telling you what, the other teams see it on film, and when you're doing that, you're fair game. And they're going to say, by the way, if Baker starts trying to block, knock his block off. That's coming. That's part of the game. So don't let him do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have plenty of blockers. It's great. It looks good, but let's think better of that. Rick says, I think the Yankees buried all the panties from the slump busters from across the street.
Sounds like we need to sacrifice some slump busters then.
Mike H says, I'll take a win any way we can get it. Was an exciting game last few innings. Yeah, the last 2 innings we scored a run. But, man, the first 7 were just brutal. Just brutal. Wade Boggs burn day for 4th of July. Stu says, hell yeah, don't need to spend money on fireworks. I like it. Good Lord. What else we got here? Mike H says, yeah, Cash used to have lineups that were always different. Yeah, I'm not sure that's the best idea. You know, you got to tweak things, and when things aren't working, try something else, right?
Yeah. Brandon
Weed says, when will the Tampa media start asking the hard questions to Cash about his lineups? Come on, Mark Tompkin or Tompkin, ask the question. I've not heard the questions asked. Like the basic question about Meade versus Aranda. I mean, let's, most of the questions are from the rights holder. Ryan Bass will ask the questions, and they have to do it diplomatically. They're not going to challenge the manager. But there are other people that cover the team that are, I guess, unaffiliated that could ask those questions.
Right.
Right. If I were allowed to have a credential, I would ask those questions respectfully as I could. I would say, hey, Cashy, what's up with Meade instead of Aranda? I mean, you look at the numbers. I don't have to spout them here. Clearly, Aranda's way better against left-handed pitching, but why do we keep putting Meade in there? I mean, you know more baseball than I do. There has to be a great reason. Please tell me and the fans, because we're all asking, we're wondering the question. We're idiots from Little League where we, look at the numbers and go, that doesn't seem to be a good choice.
Because
what would the answer be? What would the answer be?
That's a question that every manager has to answer. If there's something wrong with his lineup, reporters ask it. It's not causing problems. It's not a contentious argumentative question.
Respectfully, you question about the lineup. Yes, it's baseball.
It affected the outcome of the game because it didn't work. So we would like to know what made you do that. What was the process? Not arguing. Just tell me why you decided to put so-and-so here and so-and-so here. Every
managerial decision that's made, you should be allowed to question it. Yes. And questioning it doesn't mean it's wrong. I just want to know what your thought process was.
Right.
If I'm asking a question, I'm not saying it was wrong. I'm like, tell us what you were thinking. You're the manager. We can't find this out from anybody else. This is why we have question and answer sessions with the manager, is to find out what was going through his head as he made this decision.
Yeah. That's
baseball, man. It's part of the game. If you're following the game, if you're a fan, you want to manage along with the manager, and you go, oh, why didn't he bring this guy in instead of that guy? And a lot of times he'll tell me, well, because we know he would have countered with this guy, so we didn't do that. Oh, good idea. I didn't know that.
And that's all you need to know, right?
And so it's not disrespectful to ask the question, but the question needs to be asked. The question absolutely 100% needs to be asked. Why is Ben Rortvedt in the lineup today instead of Danny Jansen? I understand it's night game, day game, but you got an off day tomorrow. Jansen's hotter than a firecracker. You've got nothing from your catching position. This guy couldn't hit a freaking beach ball underhanded, and he can't throw anybody out. So maybe I'd leave that part of the question out, respectfully.
Let's try to keep it respectful a little bit. Maybe that's why we're not allowed to ask these questions, JP.
It would just slip out, right?
Yeah.
And Cash would laugh his ass off.
You just have to preface every question with all due respect. Then just ask away.
With all due respect. Bro's hitting 047. He's got a -9 OPS plus.
With all due respect, what the hell?
Couldn't hit a beach ball with a fly swatter.
With all due respect.
With all due respect. Okay. All right. I want to play some of our assistant coaches. This is Thad Lewis talking about Baker Mayfield running down the field like a lead blocker, and how perhaps we should take that out of the playbook. Thad Lewis, quarterback's coach. Play.
Well, he looks good there, doesn't he?
Why is it not playing?
I don't know.
Try this. Why is it not playing?
It's not working for me either.
It's not working for you either?
Uh-uh.
Well, that's weird. All right, let me try this one.
Try some of the other ones.
Well, there we go.
He's just so tough, smart.
Louis Grizzard.
A winning program coming from a great head coach,
It's a Buca
that he's prepared for, and he just embodies everything that we believe in here when it comes to being selfless, tough, disciplined, being able to play multiple positions. You heard about it going into the combine about how great of a guy he was I had a couple of good buddies on that staff, but meeting him, it just confirmed everything that we'd already heard. But it was great to spend some time with him and trying to get him up to speed here.
Yeah, that's they love him.
You should.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him play. This is on improving the offense.
The points per game can always go up. Essentially everything can go up. And through our fundamentals and techniques and asking the right questions and pushing the guy beside you, we don't look at it like the scheme is a scheme, but like what can we do individually this time of the year to improve their fundamentals, because then that will allow for us to make a deeper run in the playoffs and score more points.
You have an offensive line that's completely back. You have a running back room that's very talented and had a breakout star. What led to the success last year in the ground game, and how do you build on top of that this year?
Unmistakable accent by Matty Matera.
was
Love him.
molded to fit what the O-line was good at, what the backs were good at, and that's how we left the season, so we can now have a starting point for what we feel like was put our players in the best position to make plays. So you can always improve that. There's always new things. I mean, I know we're talking about the combine and the draft, but we spend a lot of time looking around the NFL for different schemes that we feel like can be implemented. We watch so much tape on the college prospects that we picked up 4 to 5 plays just watching Mecca's tape or Tez's tape on things that we've already implemented. So you can find it from anywhere. We had international coaches in here the last couple of weeks, and so they've got things that we've never heard of, so you can get it from anywhere.
Wow. Look for the German tush push.
What would you call that?
He's got international. All right, Alexandra, look, what is ass push in German?
Put it in Google Translate.
Google Translate ass push.
Oh my God.
I don't know. Wait, we got international plays coming now? What are we doing?
I have a question, JP. Now were you at this press conference?
I was not. They did it during our show.
Okay, so look at Grizzard's shirt.
Yeah.
How it's discolored. Is that sweat, or is the shirt made that way? See how it's darker? Like,
yeah. They're probably just coming off the field. Yeah.
I mean, dude, that's a lot of sweat, dude.
Schwitz. Yeah.
Good grief.
Speakers on.
Holy moly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's hot. It's hot here in Florida. It's just then.
Because I was going to say, if the shirt's made that way, that's a terrible design because it looks like sweat. But if it's sweat, then Josh Grizzard must just sweat a ton.
Yeah.
All right.
We got a couple others we will table for a little bit later on the show because we got some golf to talk about. Johnny Gerber is in the house, PGA Pro, joining us with his picks for the Colonial this week, a tournament and a course he knows extremely well. What's up, Johnny? How are you, buddy?
Good morning, fellas. What's happening?
Oh, it's a yuck show today. We're having so much fun.
We're having fun today.
Fantastic. Yeah. So you had a very high bar to
I've been listening. I have been listening. Certainly your baseball banter is pretty good. You can't score runs if you can't hit. That is for sure.
How about that analysis, huh?
We're talking from a seasoned baseball veteran here too, JP.
Yeah. Oh, yeah?
He played baseball for like 9 different colleges because he kept getting cut. He had to transfer.
They didn't even have the transfer portal back then.
It wasn't. Well, they did have transfer, but you had to sit out a year. So yeah. I was a 28-year-old freshman at one point, I think. So you never know, man. I had to sit out so many times.
Well, it's like when you're transferring. It's when you're asked to leave. It's cool. It's all good. Like,
yeah.
Is there
the hell out of here?
Is there any chance you ever played catcher, Johnny? Because the Rays need a catcher desperately.
There was I was not doing that. My knees were already shot before I even got to college, so I wasn't playing any catcher. I wasn't doing that. That's for sure. No. I was second base, and if I could have played right field, which everybody knows the right field is not for the best athlete on the team, I would have taken right field. Let's just say that.
The worst player, but the best hitter. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have the DH best in. All right, we have an update on German tush pushes. Our stop. I don't even know what Michael Sorbo, our good friend from the Netherlands. Our stop. Can you give me a phonetic pronunciation of that, Michael, please?
Our stop. My kid was here. My kid speaks German. I should.
Our stop. That's what tush push in German would be. Because evidently we're getting some plays. The Buccaneers are getting some international plays. So whatever.
All right.
So Gerbs, I got something for you. Hopefully this plays. All right. This is a great, because I found my buddy sent me this. So our good friend Bob Herrig from Sports Illustrated asked Scotty Scheffler about, how would he do against like a 13 handicap. And he plays against these guys at his club, which I'm shocked about this. So listen to this, and I got to get your reaction. So you can hear the back and forth with Bob Herrig, but for those of you who don't know what the handicap system is, you put in your scores, so they give you an average score of what you normally shoot, so you can play a competitive game. Like I can play against Gerber, and he has to give me like 27 shots. So, and then I use them, and I take his money. So this is how. So evidently Scotty's playing with scrubs like me. Here we go. If it plays.
Oh, it's not going to play, is it?
Come on! After that big great.
Do you have it on your computer?
Not on mine. Alex has it on his. Have
intern Alex put it in the under the video clips over on the right under media assets. He can load it in the video clips.
What if he puts his play? Will that work?
He can try. I bet. I mean, it probably won't work.
Yeah, let's see if you push play.
Well, to even go forward, I know where he plays in Dallas, Roy Oaks, and I know some of the guys that he plays against. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you a quick story. So Roy Oaks is where Randy Smith is. That's where he grew up. So it's a long list of guys that's coming out of there that played out of there. Justin Leonard, Colt Knost. I mean, it's a myriad of guys. I mean, it's 8 to 10 tour players, guys that are really good. And that was the kind of the breeding ground for golf because of Randy Smith. Teaching all these guys. So it's probably been, 8 years ago or so before Scotty was Scotty. Scotty wasn't even in college yet. He was still in high school. There's a guy that who's the clubhouse manager there. His name is Pops. Mm-hmm. Everybody's got a Pops, right? That you go to a club, everybody's got a Pops. It's that guy that knows everybody, that runs the place, will shine the shoe. I mean, whatever you had. He said, and he's, you're coming from a place that Justin Leonard, which we don't really talk Justin Leonard on From the Rough for a lot of reasons. Nope. Good reason. He said Scotty Scheffler will be better than all of these guys by far times 10. That's what he said. And Scotty at this time is like 14.
Really?
14, 15 years old. He's telling me, I said, come on, Pops. I mean, come on. You got all these guys. Colt Knost, you got 3 U.S. amateur champions here. You got major champions. He's like, listen, stop. He said, stop talking. This guy is going to be better than all of them times 10. And he's true. And he's right. I mean, he is absolutely right. And hearing the conversations, and it's a little bit premature, and I don't like to hear these. I don't like to compare of conversations. Like when you try to compare, this guy is going to be the next Jordan, or compare in any sport, how it goes.
Right.
The comparisons are, is he going to be the best ever? Is he going to be Jack or Tiger? It's a different era. And, when I say that, and I say that in terms of these guys aren't going to be playing till they're 45, 50 years old. Scotty Scheffler's not playing golf for 20 more years. He's not. First off, there's too much money in it. And if he does, good for him. But, just the motivational factor of how long do you really want to play golf? I know he loves it, and I know what he has, but, that's a lot more. That's a longer time, 20 more years, 25 more years to play golf. If your body holds up the way he swings, can his body hold up also? I mean, I don't think he's going to have the breakdown that Tiger had, but Tiger's breakdown is for other reasons, and people in the know what the other reasons are, right? Mm-hmm. So, I just don't know. Let's pump our brakes a little bit on the comparisons of, is he going to be in the same conversation as Tiger and Jack? Is it compelling? Is it great? Is he playing great golf? 100% he is. And is it the best golf we've seen since Tiger? No doubt about it. That's not even if you look at the stats, yeah, for sure. But let's hold up on comparing him to Tiger and Jack for right now. Maybe giving 5 or 6 more years. I mean, he's only won 3 majors, right? And when I say only, that sounds weird, but when you win 3 majors, you can't compare it to a guy that's won 14 and 18. I mean, there's a lot of things in this window that can happen for him. So let's just hold up. Now, was it last couple of weeks, was it impressive? Sure it was. Is he messing up my money? 100% he is. Because we don't bet Scotty Scheffler on our show. We just
what I did? I took some of your wagers and then and I took him as a safety. And I bet $50 on him to win, which covered all the bets that didn't win. But
if you want to hedge it, that's fine. I mean, that's
plus your matchups that did win. So I went up plus on the weekend. So
good,
which is a good way to go about it.
Yeah, and it hasn't been a great couple weeks for us, but this is the importance of why you have to play every week and play the same.
You're up 32-8-1, I think, on matchups, right?
32-8-3 for matchups. That's certainly for matchups. And we're still
pretty good.
Even after losing last couple of weeks and not cashing a ticket last week, which is a rarity for us, we're still plus $1,370 for the year on the plus side, and having one of our worst years in the last 5 years we've been doing this. So the reason I'm telling you this is it's ups and downs. We've had a couple of rough weeks. Now we're going to get hot.
That's how it works.
Especially this week with Colonial, and next week I'll be on covering the Memorial next week up in Columbus. So I'll be on grounds all week up in Columbus. So I'll have a little bit more insight if I don't go get married to Colin Morikawa's wife in that little interim there.
I don't think that's going to happen. But the Scheffler thing, by the way, so he says he plays on off weeks with his group, and there's 13 handicaps that he's a +7 now. He was a +5 on his club. Now he's a +7. So he's given 2 strokes a hole to 13 handicaps, which, okay, I'm a 13 handicap. I'm not a crappy golfer, but if Scotty Scheffler is going to give me 20 strokes, I should be able to win money off even Scotty Scheffler. And I wouldn't. That's what he says. He goes, yeah, most of the time I still win. How that's crazy.
Well, also it's the Scotty Scheffler intimidation factor, right?
Right.
That doesn't hurt him when it comes to that. And he's been playing these guys. He's been beating these same guys since he was 12 years old. So it doesn't really. I mean, I don't know if there was sponsors, quote unquote sponsors, for years in terms of playing him, but any of those guys at his club, they're not beating him. It doesn't. He can give them 25 shots and they're not going to beat him.
Yeah, because it's almost like running a race against Usain Bolt. It's like whatever he has to do to beat you, he's going to beat you. He's just going to beat you. He's going to run faster than you. If he's got, I got to make birdie here. I got to make eagle here. Okay, I'll do that. Whatever it is, he's going to do it because he can.
And you think he's scared of playing those guys? Like those guys are scared of playing him, right? He's not scared. He's not scared of playing those guys. That's for sure.
No. So I just thought it was interesting. His back and forth. And it's like, I got to give him 2 strokes a hole, and I'm still winning most of the time. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Just somebody just showing up, going, okay, guys, handicaps, 13, 9, 8, +7.
Yeah.
Who's that? Oh shit, Scotty Scheffler's here. Oh god,
we're playing off +7 today. How about that, guys? We're playing off +7. It's like, who's +7?
Joe gets 27 strokes, and he's still going to be coming out of pocket at the end of the day.
And you want to hear something funny? Scotty Scheffler's not going down warming up 30, 40 minutes before he plays. He's coming straight from the car. He might be having his tennis shoes on. He's stretching, and he's not hitting no breakfast ball. He's not hitting no balls. He's doing that as soon as he steps out the car.
Scotty Scheffler.
We don't have to give him a breakfast ball on one at Palmacia?
No. Well, the Palmacia you have to, because that place is too tight. I mean, Royal Oaks has got it's a little bit bigger ballpark at Royal Oaks in Dallas than Palmacia. But Palmacia, that's the tightest place. If you give me 4 balls on that, I probably still couldn't hit the fairway off the first tee.
All right, let's talk about this week at Colonial in your backyard, another track that you know so well. So let's get some winners this week. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean it's a really cool week. The redesign that they did last year. This is the second year that these guys have played it, so they're going to be a little bit more familiar with the greens and the golf course. So I really see a lot of trending guys who've played well there in the past. This is a golf course you can't overpower. Tim, it's a par 70, so Tim's kind of in the middle. He hates the 71s. He's okay with the 70s. 72 is his preference. Yep. So I think he's going to be okay this week, but.
We'll
the
see.
Golf course is softened up comparative to last year. Last year it was so firm. There was a lot of bare spots, the rough, and the grass didn't really grow in. And it's got full this year. They didn't have any play. The members didn't play it for 6 or 7 months after the tournament. So I think you're going to see the real Colonial. And I think these guys are going to, after playing it last year, they're more familiar. So you're looking at guys who are really tacticians, guys who don't make a lot of mistakes. And Maverick McNeely at 28-1 kind of fits that bill to a T. With the exception of him, all the other guys, all 7 guys are guys from the South. Aaron Rye, he might be from South London. I don't know where he's from. He's in Indian, but he's English. So they're from the South. They're all from the South. So except Maverick McNeely, but he's been playing really well. I like the way he made the cut at the PGA Championship, played solid on the weekend, trending really well. So I like him at that number 1 spot. Doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and he's a smart guy. He's going to plot his way around this place and really has some success, and he's due to win again. Harris English is same. Harris English and JT Poston both at 30-1. 2 of the guys that played really well, solid at the PGA Championship. It's really hard to say because Scotty kind of just ran away with it a little bit. But if you look a little further down the leaderboard, how solid some of these guys played, although it is a bigger ballpark and it's a major championship, solid golf and good golf will transition over. They're going to play this week and next week. So I think some of these guys like the Harris English and the JT Postons at 31 is good value coming off a really solid performance at the PGA Championship. Ham sandwiches, it's a little light ham sandwiches this week. Only 1 slice of meat and cheese because it's not a lot of extra here at 48-1 with Ben Griffin. He's a guy that fits Colonial perfectly. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He's a guy that's not the longest on the PGA Tour, but he's one of the straightest and the most accurate on the PGA Tour when it comes to driving accuracy and shots to the green. So he's going to hit a lot of greens this week. Now, if he can figure out some of these new greens, that's going to help him. But look, ignorance is a little bit bliss because I don't think he played there last year because he didn't have exemption to get in the Colonial. I'm not really sure. I think he missed last year, but it didn't really hurt him because it's a new golf course for pretty much everybody. All right. So 48-1 with Ben Griffin playing solid. I like him in this spot. 2 top 10s, Daniel Berger at plus 250 and Jordan Spieth at plus 275. We're rooting for Jordan Spieth. And if there's a place where he can go and have some good home cooking, right, familiar with the golf course, even though the renovations, he's probably played there more than anyone with the exception of some of the members that are on tour. So Jordan likes this place. And my only concern with Jordan, I didn't pick him to win. That's why we put him in the top 10. He's got to get his driving better. Even though it's not going to be as penal as Quail Hollow with the rough, you still have to drive it really straight around Colonial to be able to score. Looks like the winds are not going to be crazy like they normally are. Look like the weather is going to be pretty good. It's not going to be, I think the storms got through. It's not going to be super hot. But Jordan Spieth, I think, is trending well. I know he's going to play next week at Memorial, and I know he loves going up there. So this is a 2-week stretch for Jordan Spieth that he loves the golf courses, loves the tournament, and I see some momentum building for Jordan. I like him in at 275. Same with Daniel Berger. He's really trending well. He's played ever since he's secured his car off his major medical. He's really played well. I don't think he's missed a cut since then. So Daniel Berger at plus 250, we love. 2 top 20s, Aaron Rye at plus 210 and Lucas Glover at plus 260. Again, Lucas Glover, one of the best ball strikers on the PGA Tour. Aaron Rye is a guy that doesn't make a lot of mistakes, even though he does wear 2 gloves. That might help him in this Texas heat. We'll see. We never know. But 2 guys that are really good ball strikers. Aaron not making a lot of mistakes. And I really think Lucas Glover playing this week, next week, playing in the U.S. Open, trying to get some momentum to get on that Ryder Cup team. I think this stretch of golf, probably the next month, is important for him. So I think it's really time for Lucas Glover to get it kind of giddy up a little bit. I like him in at plus 260, along with Aaron Rye at plus 210.
All right, this is in your backyard, Johnny's winning pick. So get on it this week, and we'll get your matchups. We'll be out early Saturday, Sunday morning. All right, before you go, I want to talk about this illegal driver stuff that's going on the tour.
Okay.
All right, so my first question is, they only test a third of the field every week. They test the drive. So if you don't know, there's a springy factor in the driver. I don't know what the actual term is. The spring factor, and the spring factor off the face of the club can only be X amount. And the more you use a driver, the more springy it gets. So it gets to thinner. A point where it becomes
thinner.
Yeah. So face gets thinner. So it comes to a point where they test it and it's illegal. So my question is, with all the stuff, you have 17 freaking trailers there with all the equipment every week. Is there a way that they can test these drivers? How is it that these players don't know that their clubs are illegal? Could they not just go into a trailer and say, hey, test this, make sure it's not illegal?
Well, they don't want to know, first off.
Exactly my point.
They don't want.
Exactly my point.
They don't listen. They've been Scotty,
but they could.
Sure, Rory's been pushing this envelope. We had a TaylorMade meeting about a month ago, and those two that came up with Scotty and Rory. Those drivers, listen, between. I'll say this the correct way. The guys on the PGA Tour aren't real favoring the new QI35 driver from TaylorMade. And I'm a TaylorMade staff guy through and through. I love TaylorMade golf. They treat me great. It's not what I'm saying. Is these guys are very fickle when it comes to their golf clubs. I mean, they can, there were stories that, Rory, they can tell a half a degree of just sitting it down and looking at the club face. They don't like to see the face. Some guys don't like the certain paint on it. And there's just a lot of things, how quirky that they are. But when you get in a spot, I mean, Rory went back to his old QI10, but he had hit it so much that the gear, it's gear and bounce effect. There's some terms that they use. It's gear effect, roll and bull, that face, the more they hit it, the face gets thinner and thinner and it becomes illegal. Now, you're hearing about it now because you're from the top players in the world, from the Scotty and the Rorys, but it's been going on for a long time. These guys had to switch out drivers, especially when they come up with new drivers. The club companies every year or every 2 years come up with new drivers, and these guys test them for a long time because they know at some point they're going to have to give up their old driver because they hit it so much. They just know it. But they're not going to volunteer. If they're striping it, they're not going to volunteer and say, hey, man, listen, please take this away. Take this weapon away from me that I'm driving the ball so well. And then you start to see, well, look what happened to Rory. Look how bad he drove it. Look 2 weeks ago how great he drove it with the old driver.
Scotty had to get a new driver this week too. And the first two rounds wasn't so good, but then he dialed it in.
And
Rory couldn't do it.
The difference between those two is Rory's game is predicated on, well, he drives the golf ball. That's what he does. When he drives the ball well, he dominates and he wins. Well, Scotty is a little bit different. He doesn't have to drive the ball as good as Rory to win a golf tournament. He's more predicated. He's the best iron player. He's not the best driver of the golf ball, or his game doesn't set up how he drives it like Rory's does. Yeah. Right. So
he drives it damn well.
But yeah, I mean, we're talking apples, Granny Smith apples to Washington apples, right? They're both really good. It's just a little bit different. But, like I said, they're not volunteering. Hey, I did miss a fairway and I'm driving at 340 here. Please take my driver. They don't want to do that.
Well, isn't that
half those guys hide
Isn't that a little bit? I mean, we talk about how the golfers are so honest and all this, everything. And I totally understand what you're saying. But isn't that a little bit, questionable? If they just like I said, they could go in there and say, hey, test this. I want to make sure it's not, I've had it for a while. They could do that, but they don't.
Because they don't want to.
It's not their job. It's not their job to test their equipment.
I get it.
It's
but
the policy.
This is a self-policing sport, is it not?
Yeah, it is. But it's not like that he bumped it in the rough, right? I mean, it's not.
Yeah, I know.
But you also could go. We're not saying that he hasn't tested. He hasn't went and said, "Hey, man, check this out." They have multiple drivers, right? They have 5 or 6 drivers in their arsenal, and they're gonna pick one. And some of the guys might say, "Hey, listen, I'm getting an extra 15, 20 yards. Please take the drive." I'm not sure that they're going to do that.
No, they're not going to. No.
Here's what I tell you what they do. If they start hitting it bad, they're going to go into say, hey, listen, there's something wrong here. Check it out. And that's sometimes how that can happen. Well, your face is, your face isn't correct, or you have a face collapse, or it's too thin. They'll test them that way. But, I don't know. I don't think it's too unethical that they just don't go in and volunteer that. It's not really I don't really think that's their position. The ignorance is bliss, right? I mean, when it comes to something like that, they don't want to know. And if something happens, it happens, they're like, okay, they're not going to fight it either.
I get it. So What is the answer now? Are they going to just test everybody every week? How hard is that to do?
It's too hard. You can't do that. I mean, it's too hard. I mean, when you go to the first tee, you have the guy there that hey, what clubs are you playing? And he does the check marks and all that stuff like that. But they'll do some random testing. I'm not saying that they're going to do the P test in the bathroom like they do in some other sports, a random drug tests and shit like that. But I think it's going to, since it's come out, I think they're going to be a little bit more diligent about it. It's happened before. You just haven't really heard about it. Now you've heard about it.
That's the other thing. Why do they not make it public?
Well, I mean, it's the PGA Tour. They don't make the fines public either, or what these guys get fined. I mean, Wyndham Clark, that's a question. They like their privacy. They might start to now, because now that they're a public entity, right? Before that, they weren't a public entity; they were nonprofit. They could
with all the betting that we're doing on it, more transparency, the better.
And I think that they're gonna have to start. Wyndham Clark's coming up. He's gonna have a big paycheck, a big fine after that little helicopter deal he did last week. And I'm not a big Wyndham Clark fan. He's a little too quirky for my taste. But
how close did that come to hitting fans?
It was close. I mean, it was right behind that back banner. It was. I mean, he slung it so hard, and you're hitting a vinyl banner that it broke the head. And it gets a vinyl banner. I mean, it snapped.
So if that banner's not there, it's hitting somebody in the head.
Oh, it's maybe knees. I don't know. He's that accurate, but it might got him in the knees. But yeah, I mean, that's a $25,000. That's probably a $30,000 bill right there that he's going to have to.
He's going to have to these guys. It's better than the medical bill he would have got at the banner, wouldn't there?
But I like your point, JP, is, I think that they would be shamed more if they told you actually how much it was and why that you're doing it. Like all the cursing you hear on TV, they get whacked for that. I mean, that's a $5,000 bill. I mean, every time you hear one of those deals.
What about when Tiger would fart when he knew the camera was on him and they could hear it?
They might have paid him to do that.
We've all done that.
What is the fart fine?
Yeah.
I need some transparency on this. When him and Gary McCord used to try to out-fart each other walking down the fairway, and that would go over the air. Like, I wanted some transparency. How much did that cost him? That's what I need to know.
Yeah. That'd be more compelling. You could see a little bit. Instead of having TGL, why don't we just have the fine info to get these guys' personality out a little bit? All right.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up on YouTube, and you will not stop laughing. You will not stop laughing. That is outstanding. Good. All right, Johnny. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate your time. We got it all in there.
Appreciate it, guys.
8 o'clock Eastern today. FanStream Sports, YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Dealing with him.
There you go.
In a little bit, we'll see what happens. There'll be certainly be more farting and fines on that.
Yeah, bring up the fine fart. We need transparency on the fine fart.
I might get fined for farting on the air.
Fart fines. We got to know. Right. Absolute inquiring minds.
All right, fellas, have a good rest of your week. We'll talk to you,
Johnny. Great Johnny Gerber right there.
The more farts, the better the fine.
That's right. All right, we got to get one more break in. Let's get one more break in. We'll come back and finish up. There's a decision on the tush push. We will have it for you when we come back. Stay with us.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted #3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Going through a medical emergency without health care insurance can cause you to go into crippling debt. In most scenarios, people are forced to either break into their retirement funds or worse, they're forced to file for bankruptcy. The sad truth is that health care insurance is crucial in today's day and age. Look, I get it. Many of you think you're never going to get sick and health insurance is really expensive. Well, we can help you out with that. Depending on your income, we can find great plans and huge discounts. God forbid you get cancer, a car accident. It could literally ruin you financially for life. So make the call and find out. Even though the open enrollment period is over, you may have some qualifying life events that can help you get covered right away. It can be very complicated, a very intimidating process, but we can help. Go to our website and check out all the 5-star reviews about our helpful agents. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505. JP here for Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. We're located just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field, so it's a great pre- and post-game spot, and the happy hour is amazing. Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Check out these specials. $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells, $6 premium wells, $6 cocktails like margaritas. That's unheard of. And the Riveters food is freshly made daily. No freezers. Happy hour food specials include $3.50 tacos and barbecue sliders. $6 you get edamame or chips with the beer cheese, which is amazing. $8 buffalo chicken dip, my favorite. The truffle fries, chili cheese fries, also $8 at happy hour. As well as other specials throughout the week, including Taco Tuesdays, you get $3 tacos, and Wing Wednesdays, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. in the morning, you get our amazing wings, 5 for $5 and $5 wells and wines. That's a good Wednesday night. So if you're tired of the preppy, overpriced, generic sports bars, come see the amazing, friendly bartenders and staff at Riveters, where customer service really matters. Riveters, just south of where the Rays and Bucs play. We'll see you there. JP here for my friend Jason Fawcett, owner of On-Site Construction. They do residential and commercial renovations and new construction. As a leading home builder and general contractor, On-Site Construction prides itself on transforming homes through superior craftsmanship, dedication to client vision, and an unmatched commitment to quality and service. It's about building relationships. We take the time to understand our clients' needs, preferences, and budgets so that we can deliver a personalized experience tailored to their unique vision. From the initial designs to the final touches, we're there every step of the way, ensuring that the end result mirrors your vision. Here are some testimonials from happy customers. G. Gibson says, no hidden costs, very honest, reliable, creative, and communicates well. Reasonable and fair with their pricing, no hidden costs. C. Smith said, did not disappoint. I'm very happy with the work. This company really cares and will take care of it. So if you're just thinking about building or renovating, give us a call and let's see what's possible. 813-579-5789 or check out our website at onsiteconstructionfl.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, presented by On-Site Construction and Restoration. Check out their website, onsiteconstructionfl.com. Some great stuff there. You can see their work, fantastic work they do, and get all their 5-star reviews, onsiteconstructionfl.com. All right, the tush push is going to stay.
Gross.
22-10. They needed 2 more votes. And from what we've heard from the Bucs, they voted to keep it.
Yeah, Todd Bowles wanted to keep it, which is admirable as a defensive coach, right? I mean,
it's admirable. On principle, just because somebody gets good at something, we shouldn't. But this is your chief rival. You're taking away something that is one of their significant weapons. And if you can vote to do that, I mean, I'm conflicted here, to be quite honest.
Yeah,
I think in the end, you know, so it's like saying in the game, well, you know, they're really good at throwing the football. We could do something that's skirting the rules to stop it. So are we going to do that? If it's skirting the rules and it's, you know, by the letter of the law, doable, then I want you to do it. I want you to push the envelope. I want you to play on the edge. I want you to do. I'm not saying if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But I'm saying if it's a gray area, yeah, take advantage of it. I'm very conflicted. I'm interested to hear what the people think. What do the fans think? I know we're ending the show, but I'm going to put something up on Twitter and see what people vote.
Yeah, we can talk about it more tomorrow. We'll have time. My whole thing is, I think I'm conflicted because I really don't care that much, because everyone can do it, right? Everyone has the ability to do it. There's not as good. I think to myself, if it wasn't the Eagles, who is by far my number one, and it's not close, most hated team in the NFL, if it was like the Bears doing this, right?
I wouldn't care.
Or even Washington or New York, I would.
I fully admit that. I fully admit that.
I would care.
I fully admit that.
Because it's the freaking Eagles. I think it just irritates me. I'm like, no, don't let them do it anymore because they're the Eagles.
See, Nathan says beat them on the field, not through politics. Man up, shut up, win the game. Yeah,
absolutely.
I have to lean. So, but then again, if it was something we were doing and we kept, would the Eagles vote against it? Bet damn right they would.
Yep.
Damn right they would. If it was reversed, the Eagles would do it. And their fans would demand it. Their fans would demand it.
Yeah. I just hate. I hate that it's the Eagles. I hate that they're so good at it. I hate that the Eagles are good.
This is really a tough one for me. I'll be honest with you. It's really tough. It goes against my gut to say, but this is, it's football. It's the NFL. You got to get every edge you possibly can. And you can make an argument for safety. You can make it. And by the way, you changed the rules to allow this. We're just changing the rule back to the way it used to be, that you can't push another player and help another player, which I think is good because you keep doing this rugby stuff with the size of these guys. Friendly fire is gonna get you too.
We've already had guys get hurt and lose their season.
Yes.
Tank Dell with the Texans a couple of years ago lost the second half of the season because he was in as a blocker during a tush-push play on the goal line.
Yeah.
So wide receiver.
Yeah. And, Michael LaRue says it's not a football play. It looks like rugby. There's, you can make a case that for safety, you shouldn't have it. And you're just not even worried about the ethical, moral concerns here about beat them on the field.
And I would love to go back to when they changed the rule a few years because it was late. I would like to go back. Yeah, why did you change it after all these years? Make it legal to push a teammate, an offensive teammate, because you could never do that. And then all of a sudden,
remember the Reggie Bush? It was the Bush push.
Yeah, it was very quietly one day. This went completely under the radar, and they started to allow it.
Right. And so the case can be made that they changed the rules and they're taking advantage of it in the quote gray area.
Yeah.
And they're what you're asking. Think about it this way. You're asking your quarterback to get hit in the back.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what if you're Bryce Young? Are you having a 280-pound defensive end smack him in the back to push him through? Probably.
Poor Bryce Young.
And here's the other thing. If you're Bryce Young, do you have to say to the coach, yo, dog, I really don't want that to happen to me? And you're putting your player in that position where you have to say, listen, I'm going to get injured. And the coach can go, stop being a pussy. I need a yard. And you're not big enough to get it yourself, so I'm going to have you smacked in the back by, a 300-pound lineman. It wouldn't be the smartest thing as a coach to do, but
no,
there's a safety issue here.
The teams that utilize it are going to be the teams with the big quarterbacks like Jalen Hurts, right?
I know, but there's different scenarios that if you're the Players Association, you're trying to protect the player's safety. And I think would the Players Association vote, if the players were voting for this, interesting question. If the players were voting for this, where do you think they would land?
Tank Dell would vote no.
Why the hell was Tank Dell in on a freaking tush push? So tell me 170 pounds.
He literally came in motion to the line, and then at the snap went into the pile to block. And
that is whoever designed that was a moron.
D'Amico Ryan. Well, he's a defense.
That was a dumbass. That's worse than the Godwin injury almost.
Or Tank Dell.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll have lots to talk about this tomorrow, but we'll get some feedback from you guys on social media. See where
tonight, 8:00, and I will be there. Stars, Oilers,
nice.
Game 1, Western Conference Finals, baby, and I will be in the arena.
What to watch at Riveters tonight? We got Game 1 of Stars and Edmonton. That should be good. We got Game 1, Eastern Conference, Knicks and Pacers. You can watch that. So we got lots of good stuff to go watch at Riveters tonight after you get done with the baseball game.
Yep.
So I'm headed over there right now because we're
early
going to the game.
Right?
Yep.
2 o'clock, 1 o'clock?
Yep.
2 o'clock.
Yep. 1 o'clock. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. Go Rays today. We will be back at you tomorrow. See you then.